Upgrading your cruise ship cabin feels like a smart move. More space, better views, a taste of luxury. But nearly every dollar you pay above the base fare is engineered to steer you straight into the cruise line's most profitable trap. Research shows that simple features like a balcony inflate the price by up to 50%, using psychological anchoring and time-limited offers to make the splurge seem irresistible. The framing encourages a quick yes, and that quick yes changes how you spend for the rest of the trip. What most passengers miss is that behind every upgrade is a system designed to extract more from you at every turn, often for comforts that are barely noticeable or for amenities you never asked for. You end up paying for perceived status more than for measurable value. What happens when your search for a better room locks you into a high-cost funnel you cannot escape? The logic of the upgrade is not just flawed, it is precisely what they want you to believe. Inside every cruise ship booking, there is a moment of hesitation. The base fare promises a room that is functional, but nothing more. A space of 130 to 185 square feet, no windows, no balcony, just enough for a bed, a bathroom, and a small desk. For many travelers, that feels like settling. The idea of upgrading to something larger and brighter is powerful. A balcony cabin, for example, jumps to 200 or even 250 square feet, with sliding doors that open to the sea. Suites go further, sometimes doubling the footprint to 300, even 500 square feet, adding seating areas or walk-in closets. The physical difference is easy to measure, and cruise lines make sure those numbers are front and center. But it is not just about square footage. The promise of a view, waking up to sunlight and open ocean instead of four walls, has a pull that is hard to ignore. For some, the thought of spending a week in an interior room cut off from the outside world feels claustrophobic. Others worry about motion sickness, believing a balcony or window will help steady their senses. There is also the quiet status that comes with a higher category. Suites and balconies are often separated by private hallways, marked by subtle signs or exclusive lounge access. Even the key card changes color, a small signal to crew and fellow passengers. The marketing plays on these instincts. Brochures and booking sites highlight the difference in space, showing diagrams where a balcony cabin's extra 30 or 40 square feet looks transformative. Sample offers spell it out. For a 7-night cruise, an interior room might cost $699 per person, while a balcony jumps to $1,199 per person. That is a $500 premium for the week. The math seems simple. More room, better views, a touch of luxury for a price that, broken down nightly, feels manageable. It is easy to imagine that extra space making every day more comfortable, every sunrise more memorable. Most passengers see the upgrade as a one-time decision, a way to make a special trip even better, or to avoid the discomfort of a cramped windowless cabin. The logic is straightforward and deeply human. Who would not want more space, more light, and a sense of being treated just a little bit better? These are the reasons upgrades feel not just tempting but rational. They are also the reasons cruise lines have built an entire system around turning that temptation into revenue, long before passengers ever step on board. Every upgrade offer starts with a number. For most travelers, the first price they see, for example $699 for a week in an interior cabin, becomes the mental benchmark. This is anchoring in action. When the balcony option appears at $1,199, the $500 difference is presented as an upgrade, not a full price. The original number lingers, making the balcony feel like a manageable stretch instead of a luxury splurge. Cruise lines rely on this psychological effect. Internal data from 2024 shows that anchoring can boost willingness to pay by as much as 50%, simply by setting the right starting point. But the pricing story does not stop there. The next tactic is the decoy effect. Booking screens and emails rarely show just two options. Instead, there is a third option: often a suite priced at $2,499. Suddenly, the balcony cabin, sitting in the middle, looks reasonable by comparison. Industry analysts estimate that this middle-tier framing increases uptake of the higher-margin option by 40%. The suite, with its walk-in closets and lounge perks, exists as much to steer attention as to sell itself. The balcony becomes the smart choice, even if the per-square-foot cost actually rises. Scarcity closes the loop. Pre-cruise emails and pop-ups announce that only a few balcony cabins remain, or that you can upgrade in the next 48 hours to secure your spot. Timers count down, and the window to decide narrows. Conversion rates jump 15 to 30% during these limited time pushes, according to recent booking data. The sense of urgency is engineered, not accidental. Most passengers do not realize that these offers are triggered by inventory algorithms. If occupancy drops below a certain threshold, the system dials up the pressure. The arithmetic behind these offers is carefully constructed. That $500 balcony premium, spread over 7 nights, comes out to just over $71 a night, framed as a small price for daily ocean views. But a closer look at the numbers tells a different story. The incremental cost per added square foot often exceeds $2.30, far higher than the base fare. For a family of 4, the upgrade doubles in cost, since per-person pricing is the rule, not the exception. A pricing analyst who works behind the scenes explains it this way: upgrades are not random. They are optimized to capture the most revenue from the people most likely to spend on board. The system is designed for uplift, not comfort. Arithmetic overlays and fine print reveal how a $500 upgrade can quietly balloon to $590 or more once fees and taxes are included. The illusion of a deal is as much about psychology as it is about math. These mechanics turn a simple choice into a carefully managed funnel. The promise of comfort is real, but the numbers behind it are anything but straightforward. What looks like a personal decision is in reality a system built to maximize revenue at every step. Upgraded cabins promise more space and better views, but the promise often gives way to the reality. Many balcony cabins are placed directly above lifeboats or behind thick steel beams, leaving up to 1/3 of passengers staring at orange hulls or metal railings instead of the open ocean. On some ships, entire rows of so-called ocean view rooms face inward to promenades or busy walkways, and they offer privacy only when curtains are drawn tight. Deck plans reveal that on certain vessels, as many as 1 in 4 balcony cabins have some form of obstruction, whether it is a lifeboat, a support column, or a partial overhang that blocks sunlight for much of the day. These are not rare exceptions. They are baked into the ship design, and upgrade offers rarely spell them out. The gain in usable space also deserves a closer look. The advertised jump from an interior room to a balcony or suite might sound dramatic. Sometimes it is 40% or even 50% more square footage. But a significant portion of that extra area is outdoors, exposed to wind and weather. On colder itineraries or rainy days, the balcony turns into little more than wasted space. Even in perfect weather, the actual living area inside the cabin often grows by only 20 to 40%. The rest is claimed by the balcony itself or by awkward layouts that add square footage but not comfort. Suites, for example, may include entryways, oversized bathrooms, or walk-in closets that look impressive on a diagram but do little to improve day-to-day life. A family expecting to stretch out in a 350 square foot suite may discover that only half of that space is truly usable for sitting, sleeping, or relaxing together. Location brings its own set of surprises. Upgraded cabins are frequently assigned at the front or back of the ship, where the ride is rougher and noise from anchor chains or engine vibration can interrupt sleep. Others sit directly above theaters, nightclubs, or busy pool decks. Passenger reviews from 2024 describe sleepless nights in balcony rooms above late-night venues and suites so close to elevator banks that foot traffic never really stops. These drawbacks are not always disclosed at the time of booking. Instead, they become clear only after the first night on board, when the promise of an upgrade gives way to the reality of its placement. The sense of disappointment is common. Passengers who paid hundreds more for a better view find themselves pulling the curtains closed for privacy or stepping onto a balcony that is too windy to use. The extra space, so tempting on paper, often goes unused or feels less comfortable than expected. Cruise lines have little incentive to warn travelers about these trade-offs. The system is designed to fill every upgraded cabin, even those with compromised views or noisy locations, before offering discounts on remaining inventory. The result is a pattern. Upgrades that look like a step up too often deliver less comfort and less satisfaction than promised. Each of these physical drawbacks is a reminder that the value of an upgrade is not just about square footage or sunlight. It is about the quality of space and whether it actually improves the journey. The moment a cabin upgrade is accepted, the billing system quietly shifts into a higher gear. What looked like a single price increase on the booking screen quickly becomes a chain of new charges, each one triggered by the cabin's new category. Daily gratuities are not static across the ship. On most major lines, a suite or premium cabin automatically raises the service charge by $10 to $15 per person per day. Over a week-long cruise, that is an extra $70 to $105 for each guest, applied without warning at checkout. For a couple in a balcony room, the gratuity total might climb from $224 to $294, simply because the system reclassifies the cabin tier. Port taxes and government fees add another layer. While these charges are often presented as fixed, some lines scale them based on cabin type or bundled perks. A suite may carry an extra $20 to $50 per person in port fees, justified by the higher base fare or priority services, even if the itinerary and time in port remain unchanged. These line items are rarely highlighted up front. Instead, the fine print at the bottom of the invoice reveals the truth. Upgrade the room, and the mandatory fees climb with it. Perks bundled with upgrades often overlap with what many passengers have already paid for. Drink packages, internet access, or specialty dining credits can appear as exclusive suite benefits. But in practice, these perks are sometimes identical to pre-purchased add-ons. A guest who buys a mid-tier drink package before sailing, then upgrades to a suite, may find the suite's package is no broader, just bundled in a way that prevents refunds or downgrades. The result is duplication, not added value, but the accounting system treats it as an extra benefit. Fare class rigidity is another hidden cost. Once an upgrade is accepted, the booking often becomes non-refundable or locked into stricter change penalties. This limits flexibility if plans shift or emergencies arise. The upgraded fare may also forfeit eligibility for future price drops or onboard credits, locking the passenger into the highest rate with no recourse. The booking is effectively locked. Arithmetic on paper can look benign. A $500 upgrade, a $70 gratuity increase, and a $20 bump in port fees add up. But together, these line items quietly inflate the real cost of the upgrade to $590 or more per person before a single drink or excursion is purchased. The system is designed to obscure these additions, burying them in booking confirmations and post-cruise statements. Each fee is a product of the cabin's new status, triggered not by guest choice, but by the logic of the billing code. In this way, the upgrade is never just about space or view. It is a lever that pulls the entire pricing structure upward, one clause at a time. Once the upgrade is confirmed, a new pattern takes hold, one that cruise lines have studied for years. Passengers who pay more for their cabin do not just spend more up front. They spend more everywhere else, too. Internal data from recent years shows that guests in upgraded cabins generate, on average, 20 to 30% higher onboard spending compared to those in standard rooms. For a typical 7-night cruise, interior cabin passengers average around $800 in total spend, while suite guests routinely cross the $1,200 mark. This is not a coincidence. It is the result of a psychological mechanism known as the sunk cost effect. After investing hundreds more on a balcony or suite, passengers feel compelled to make the most of it. They book specialty dining, order premium drinks, and sign up for spa treatments, each purchase justified as part of an upgraded experience. The status of the cabin becomes a silent motivator. Suite guests tip more, attend exclusive events, and browse the onboard shops with a different mindset. The initial upgrade sets a new baseline for what feels normal, and the rest of the trip unfolds from there. Cruise lines track these patterns closely, using per-passenger revenue as a key performance metric. Comparative bar graphs in internal reports show the uplift. Upgraded guests consistently outpace the rest, not just in ticket price, but in every onboard category. The system is designed so that an upgrade is not just a one-time splurge. It is the first step in a chain reaction, one that quietly locks passengers into a higher spending trajectory for the rest of their time at sea. Upgrade offers are not a one-off sales pitch. They are a finely tuned system engineered for maximum yield. The process begins weeks before departure. Most passengers receive a sequence of emails 30, 14, and 3 days out, each one carefully timed to coincide with booking lulls and inventory forecasts. These messages rarely mention the total price. Instead, they frame the offer as an incremental step, like upgrade for just $70 more per night, or bid to move up for a fraction of the full fare. The language is crafted to make the difference feel minor, even as the actual premium climbs. At check-in, the machinery shifts again. Conversion rates at the desk spike between 20 and 40%, especially when staff are trained to follow a script. One former sales staffer said they were told to start with the highest category first, asking, "Would you like to enjoy a suite this week?" and then work down if the guest hesitated. The goal was always to anchor high. This is not improvisation. It is a revenue playbook refined by years of data on passenger behavior. On board, digital platforms take over. Bidding programs like RoyalUp and MoveUp now dominate, with nearly all offers routed through paid upgrade portals rather than complimentary assignments. These systems use real-time inventory and passenger profiles to push targeted deals, often with countdown timers or notifications that say only a few cabins remain. The cadence is relentless, engineered to create a sense of scarcity and urgency at every touchpoint. Behind the scenes, revenue teams monitor these channels obsessively. Algorithms adjust bid ranges and offer timing based on occupancy forecasts and onboard spend projections. The process is industrial, not personal. Every step is designed to convert hesitation into action, and every successful upgrade feeds a chain of higher onboard spending, higher fees, and stricter terms. The upgrade offer is never just an invitation. It is the closing act of a system built to extract the maximum possible value from every passenger who says yes. Today, cruise lines use upgrades not just to sell comfort, but to shape how and how much you spend from the moment you book. As dynamic pricing and behavioral nudges grow more sophisticated, the real luxury is control over your own choices. In a system built to maximize yield, value is less about what you get and more about what you are willing to question. Let me know your thoughts below.